I have a theory that men love strict women because deep down they know we're supposed to be living in a matriarchy. I'm not sure what point in history things got confused, things got misconstrued. I feel like when we take all of our energy and attention and put it onto them,
Uh
they act the way they do because they're confused.
huh. Now listen, this is gonna be one of these types of videos. First and foremost, shout out to my younger G's out there. All right, I'm talking about the Gen Zers because the modern woman that you're dealing with today is actually exponentially worse than the modern woman that I dealt with back in my day. Because the modern woman in my day, when they would say idiotic things like this, it would be to the tune of the 5 or 6 women in their echo chambers. But now when these women say ridiculous things like this, it is to the tune of 1 million people, 263,000 of which are agreeing with her. And we're going to get to these comments towards the end of my comments because these comments are absolutely insane. And I understand that she's young and she's armed and dangerous with a phone, so I'm not going to go hard on her so much as her ideas. Nevertheless, the bonnet warrior coming to the conclusion that men prefer or like strict women, generally it comes from one of two places. Either she's watched her mother be mean to her father and her father acquiescing to ensure a happy wife, happy life, or she's mean herself, but guys will still actively play in her game, thus signaling that maybe the guys like her bad behavior, not realizing that they're playing the game to get the cheeks. And then 1 or 2 strokes later, they're on to the next one. So concluding that we need a matriarchy based off of a false pretense or supposition is the error in your ways, madame. Nevertheless, let's hear more.
I feel like deep down,
Okay.
they know that we're supposed to be running things. So subconsciously, they punish us for putting them in positions where we expect them to run things. And
Oh
they're
my.
like,
What?
my mom has always told me
Ah.
that a soft, feminine woman is really the one who's running stuff. Okay, a soft, feminine woman
Damn, I'm good.
commands that household. I don't care what anyone says. And it's not like she's telling people what to do. Her energy sets the precedent for how things are done. So when you come in and you're like, yeah, I'm going to pour into me and everyone else gets the overflow. Like a man is like, yes, like that gives me something to work towards. That gives me something to look forward to.
First off, damn, I'm good in thinking that some of this behavior or her mindset is coming from her family situation. But there are some truths as well. She's saying a soft, peaceful, feminine woman. There's a lot of power within that. And a man's natural inclination to protect and provide is more so heightened under the protection or provision of the woman of that general character. And we've seen so many cases of women wielding this power dangerously. And when I mean dangerously, I mean for the value of a man, because men can be weak to that type of being. But the yin and the yang between the masculine and the feminine is just that, subtle parts to complete a complete picture. Assuming that a man may be apt to be weak-willed, and that type of dynamic means that women should be ruling, right? Like there should be a matriarchy and men should be oppressed or being run by women is absolutely absurd, man. What this actually sounds like is the downplay of the importance of men, of male leadership, then to actually recognize that there can be a balance in a household. And in fact, when it's a single mother household, the numbers reflect incredibly poorly, especially in consideration to when there's a single father within that household.
Girls with no fathers in the home have lower self-esteem. No father families more likely to be victims of abuse, especially with single mothers. Children with high BMI more often come from fatherless homes. Here's something: fathers have the fittest children. That was really interesting to me. The more opportunities a child has to interact with biological father, the less likely they are to commit a crime or have contact with the juvenile justice system. Okay, another way to say that is men and women who are incarcerated, the population of the prisons mostly encompass fatherless homes. Now, here's something that no one else has mentioned, which I think is cool, and I don't really say this eloquently. If a man and wife raise a child, they're less likely to end up in jail, but they have the same statistical chance as children raised by just their father.
Overflow, like that gives them incentive to pour into you so they can receive the overflow. Men need purpose. A man without a purpose is a depressed man.
Can you imagine as a young man sitting across the dinner table from her in a date, listening to her spew her ideas? I mean, like I thought we had it bad in Gen Y, baby. Listen, all my young cats out there, I don't know what to tell you, baby. I know that they diamonds in the rough at the end of the day because you get hit with so much dumb bullshit. It's absolutely ridiculous. So men need purpose. A man's purpose should be a woman. Therefore, we need a matriarchy to give and ensure that men have purpose. While I agree with the points that a man needs purpose, you must understand that purpose can be rooted in many different things, whether it's what he does for a living, hobbies that he might have, or providing for and protecting a family. A loving, peaceful, truly feminine woman by his side, a stable home, and children to raise can give him something bigger than himself to live for. It can ground him, it can motivate him, and it gives him real strength and real direction. But again, ma'am, that does now not mean that there needs to be a matriarchy, right? There is no developed society ever in the history of developed societies, except for some Ubuntu tribe somewhere in South America somewhere, where a matriarchy has ever existed and been successful for any amount of time. You must relinquish the feminist rhetoric that you've somehow picked up through your schooling or watching TV, because the more that you do not let go of it, the less likely that a man will ever take you seriously, because you're forming a low barometer hate for men, and thus you're devaluing the important, pivotal role that men play in society. And if you want to be in that position, then you should be paying for all of your dates. You should expect that when there's a bump in the night, then you were the one to get up and go fight off that bump of the night. You should be okay with making the majority of the money. You see, being a leader is just not about accepting the benefits of leadership without accepting the potential consequences or negatives of leadership. Stop trying to constantly challenge the natural order or the roles that has worked well for generations to come. By the way, let me also say this as we end off. Generally, these conversations will come from young ladies that believe that we are currently in a modern day patriarchy, which we are absolutely not. We are in a egalitarianism. In egalitarianism, we typically emphasize gender equality and shared decision making, as opposed to a patriarchy where the decisions are made in a way to value men while devaluing women or oppressing women or to dominate over them. We don't live in that right now. But there is enough checks and balances to ensure that decisions are not made to oppress women as a gender simply for being women. So irrespective of the gender study classes that you are taking right now, who's continuing to feed you bullshit like why there is a wage gap within the West, just understand the society that you are actually living in and not one that they're trying to make you feel like a victim in. Matter of fact, I forgot to go through this comment section. Let's go through and let's have some fun, baby. First one up at the top. Men are soldiers. They can carry out orders. Women are leaders who have intuition and ancestral knowledge inside all of us. Oh, no! Yo, having conversations with people like this is just, I got to get them on a live stream because we'd have a great back and forth. Men with strict women are the happiest with 51,000 likes. That's what's so crazy about all of this is that not only are they saying all of these things, but look at the amount of people that are liking this shit. The manliest men love obeying women. 46,000 likes. And then look at the picture of the young lady, morbidly obese.
Jesus Christ.
Funny how that happens. Enoughness. They fall in line when you give them orders. Damn, how did I even stumble on this component of the internet? Typically, they don't show me this shit ever. But here we are. Yep, I give them tasks, orders, and assignments, and life is good. Oftentimes, I have people call in and complain about my comment section and will completely ignore the comments on the other side of the internet. Imagine if the guys on my side was saying shit like this. Oh yeah, I just give them orders and they just, like, what? Like, this shit is hilarious. And their first call in any minor situation is always mommy. Yet this is the side of the internet that gets off on being female first and power is woman and pussy rules the world. They make it sport to emasculate men. But here's the thing is that you can't get mad at shit like this because at the end of the day, all of these bitter ass women are going to end up destitute and alone purchasing dog food until their end of days and will have no one but themselves to thank. All right, guys, drop me a line down below. What is it that you think about my thoughts within this comments or the original comments on the video? Last but not least, guys, this is the best time to join my men's self-development community, baby. Like, if you're interested in joining a brotherhood of like-minded men that are focused on improving themselves within life, focus on their health and fitness, finding their purpose, developing their masculinity, and above all, this is the majority of our topic, creating financial independence in the future, then this is the perfect community for you. Click the link down below, beam up, and I will see you guys soon. Until next time, YouTube, peace.